Vibha Mahajan. I am the Vice President India for an Australian educational technology company called Matific. So we all know, how important STEM education is in our country. STEM, as you would all know, stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. For a nation like India, and not just India, world over, STEM education is extremely important. So Matific is dedicated to the M in STEM to improve the learning and understanding of maths through gamified learning that Matific offers, right? So as we say that, maths learning is critically important in our country, let's take a look at, where we stand today as a nation when it comes to maths learning. How many of our children are able to really perform, the maths questions that are basic skills that are taught to them? So this is from a newspaper article which was published about 2 months ago. And what this said is that at an all India level, if we look at grade 3 students, only about 20% of the grade 3 students are able to do subtraction at a nationwide level. And then yes, when the state that we are in today, if you look at Maharashtra is better, much better off the national average. It's about 25 to 30%, but it's still, all of these numbers, the highest being Kerala, 44.7, all of these numbers are still not where they should ideally be in maths education. If you look at another piece of statistics here, why we say that maths education is so important in India. About 12 lakh students every year appear for the JEE Joint Entrance Engineering Examination from our country. About 10 lakh students pass out of engineering. They become engineers. They pass out as engineers every year in the nation. And out of these 10 lakh students, the disappointing part is that only 25% of these engineers are found to be employable by the industry. So what it really means is that even though they have become engineers, they still do not have the right analytical, mathematical, logical skills to be employable in the industry. And if we look at, if you look at the new age jobs that are being looked at, Mr. Chandan was talking about his session this morning. There are so many jobs that are getting created every year around the mathematical skills. So today, every year, about 2 lakh jobs are being created in the fields of artificial intelligence, machine intelligence, data science. All of them require mathematical skills amongst those who take the jobs. And we need to make sure that our children are there to be able to take up these jobs. Today, there is dearth of students who can be employed for these new age jobs that are coming up. All of this causes a lot of anxiety because students they feel that they are learning, they are moving ahead, but actually the conceptual understandings are not there. So this causes a lot of anxiety amongst the children, amongst their parents, amongst all of you as teachers as to what should be done so that their learning level improves. And this is not just a phenomenon in India. It is, we have implemented Matific in 50 countries so far. And we have seen that, wherever we go, the developed world, like, if you look at the United States of America, where we sell Matific to, countries like Ghana, and then when we talked about this statistics in India to other countries like Estonia, etc., everywhere, the similar problem is there. It causes a lot of frustration among the children because they are not able to understand the certain concepts that are being taught to them. So, when we say that, children are not really able to relate with the concepts or understand concepts, let's also look at how currently maths is being taught. It's primarily we are using books, we are using a lot of worksheets, and there are questions like this that keep appearing in worksheets. So there are multiple worksheets, that children get, to fill in the blanks on those worksheets. But they'll be able to fill these only if they have that basic understanding of how to perform these, operations. Whether they are arithmetic, all the 4 or 5 arithmetic operations that they perform, they'll be able to fill only if they know how to do them, right? And if they don't know, this is what really happens. Students they have this frown on their face, they get frustrated that, they are getting worksheets after worksheets from the school, at home, from their parents, but, they're not able to stand up to mark. When we talk about, we thought that a lot of educational technology that could really help solve this problem. So if we bring in technology into maths, the current problem of, children underachieving in the subject, they could probably, do better. But unfortunately, what most of the technology has done is they've picked the same worksheets with some bells and whistles, they've put those worksheets on the computers, right? So it's still the same thing. What was earlier in the form of paper and pen given to the students, it's now given to them on a computer. So that really doesn't in any way help in intervening, with them on their math skills. So most of the technology companies that you see, they put out a lot of worksheets. Yes, into and this frown on a child's face still remains, yeah, because all that has happened is that seeing those worksheets on print, instead of that they are seeing them on the computer. Okay, so when we say that this is a problem for our area for us to solve, and that the current technology solutions that are there are not good enough for children, then what is it that we do at Matific to solve that problem? Here it is. We have, what we have done at Matific is that we offer this program from kindergarten through grade 6. And in every grade, we have broken down the topics to the learning outcomes. And for every learning outcome, we have created in hundreds of games which the children could play and process. They will get the basic conceptual understanding of the math subject, and in the process they have a lot of fun at the same time. So let's look at this. This is one of the games that we have. Like this, we have thousands of games in the platform. You see that this game is basically, I know this game, so this is basically trying to teach fraction from 20. And so you see that the cherries are there on the table, 10 in each bowl. So what this game is doing is that it's the monster has come and eaten some cherries. The game is asking the child to say how many cherries did the monster eat. So the child will basically count and then say these many cherries have been eaten away, and what is remaining is what the number is. So all of this happens through a game, right? The children is not sitting. What is not happening is that 20 minus x is equal to 13 is what we have given to the child as a worksheet. We have gamified that concept, and we are trying to seed ahead because cherries are in pairs of 2s there. So the child could count as 1, 2, 3, or he could just count as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in that manner. Can you see what's wrong? Yeah, okay. Let's come to the next game. So this is geometry. We have geometry as well. Geometry is being taught in a gamified way too. So this is geometry, and we are asking the child to make 2 trapezoids. There is a scissor, there is glue. The child could basically, cut and use those shapes to make the trapezoid in an appropriate form. Use the glue to paste whatever he has cut and make trapezoids. So like this, there are thousands and thousands of games inside the platform, broken down by learning objectives, broken down by the curriculum that the child gets to play. So this is skip counting by 3. So essentially, if we see the Matific way of learning, it's very, very hands-on. We promote problem-solving, critical thinking skills amongst the children. This is all personalized. So, as teachers, you will be able to see that, who are the children who are ahead of others in a certain topic. And you could also divide the class into groups and say that, these children need intervention on these topics, so you assign more activities to them versus the other children who are ahead, and you could assign a different set of activity to other children. So basically, this is all personalized and adaptive as the children play, hands-on, they promote problem-solving skills, they have fun all along the way. So, we were 3-4 days back in a school in Delhi, and we were playing these games in a hall full, which had some 250 to 300 children. And there was a projector like this, and we were playing these games, and children were having so much of fun while the different games we were playing. They were shouting answers on top of their voices, and they were telling their teachers that, look, this is something that we want to get in because this is great fun for them. What we do is, in terms of implementation, what we do is, we align the program to your curriculum. It is currently aligned to CBSE, IB, ICSE, IGCSE boards. We will shortly align with a couple of state boards curriculum as well, where we are progressing ahead, working with the governments. So it can be aligned to the curriculum that your school is basically offering, and you can have it, you can have it even mapped to the textbook. If you're following a specific textbook and the teacher takes some concepts from there, teaches, and then wants the children to play games, it can be aligned to that textbook as well. We support, like I said in the beginning, we support the STEM initiative, and M is the key for STE really in the STEM, if we see. It runs in terms of infrastructure, it runs on the infrastructure that you would have in the school. So, if you have invested in whiteboards, then currently what happens most of the time is that those whiteboards, they get used to basically just, show some videos. So children see one-way communication, seeing the whiteboards, by projecting some videos, that's what happens, inside the classrooms. But not really, the whiteboards are not being used in a two-way manner, where, children are also able to do something on the whiteboard in the class, and, the whole class gets engaged in something. So our Matific program allows to do that. If teachers play some games in the classroom, with the kids, they could have the kids come over on the board and, do something which will keep the entire class engaged as to what, game is being played, what concept is being taught. It makes the whole classroom environment very light and very, very interactive. What about the price? Yes, it's very, very affordable. We would encourage, it's very inexpensive. We would encourage you all we have a booth set outside. We would encourage you all to come and talk to us. This is a program really that you would miss, if you didn't implement in your schools. We've implemented this in 50 countries and in 30 different languages, and we have changed the way maths is being taught and learned in those countries and schools. This is just to show it to you, how the program is being run and implemented in different schools across the country, across different countries. So this is from China, and you will see that, the teacher is playing an activity in the classroom, and children are shouting answers and having fun. That's how it is implemented in one of the classrooms in China. This is a classroom in Argentina, where there is a set of tablets that the school has, and the school brings those tablets every day into different classes. so children can actually use the tablets for learning. So here the teacher has assigned some games to the children to play in the class, and they're all using the tablets to do that. This is in a computer lab setting. So sometimes, schools won't have a computer for every child or a tablet in the classrooms. So what they do, but very often schools have a computer lab. So once or twice a week in the maths class, the children are taken to a lab where they go through these activities, and you see that the teacher is actually guiding the two girls out there on how to play. And the girls also interact. They look at each other's screens and they see, how they can help each other. It builds collaboration amongst the kids, just makes them a lot more involved within themselves and with each other. This is the real use of, like I was talking about, the whiteboard whiteboards being there and projectors being there in the classes. So, here is what is projected on a whiteboard as an activity. A child has volunteered and is playing that activity in the class, and obviously the class is, watching and shouting as to what should be the response or answer to that activity. This is in Ghana. So even in a country like Ghana, where the resources that are there in the schools are minimal, here is a class which has, just a few tablets. So teacher has divided the children into groups, and they're all playing together certain activities in groups. And yes, this is an implementation in India. So, we are running currently, it's about to get over in a week's time, a huge pilot with the state government of Tamil Nadu. We signed an agreement with them earlier this year. So for the last 2.5 months, a pilot is being run in the state. And this is an Indian classroom from that state where the teacher is running an activity and explaining a few concepts to the children around that activity. So this is a classroom from the state of Tamil Nadu. And if we look at, so this is the pilot I was referring to. My friend Scott Smith, who's here, he was the one who was present for the signing of the agreement with the minister in the state. We wanted to implement this pilot in the government schools in Tamil Nadu. About over 21,000 children are using Matific in the state of Tamil Nadu. At this point of time, there were 426 teachers that Matific trained on how to use this platform. It's very, very simple to use, but we trained them thoroughly to ensure that they don't have any problem once implemented. 150 schools are involved. And you can see the number of activities in 2 months that these children have played. It's close to just about 7 lakh activities in the platform that these children have played. So tremendous, tremendous response from the children as well as from the teachers. And with all of this, all the activities that the children played in Matific over the last 2.5 months, see how the scores of the kids have improved across various topics when they were, versus when they were not using Matific platform. So this is a tremendous achievement for the state. This is, we also just want to say that this is, when we train the teachers around using the platform, it is also a lot of professional development for the teachers because they learn different aspects of working with an online platform. So while the platform is very simple to use, it doesn't require a lot of training, but that those 1 or 2 hours that teachers devote to learning the platform, it's professional development for them as well. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I'll be very happy to answer any questions that you may have. And most importantly, I'll be also happy to, my colleague Scott and I will be happy to have you at our booth and answer some very specific pertinent questions and show you some maths activities that we have.